The Z to Z Podcast.
Good morning, good evening, or good day, and welcome to the Z to Z Podcast, the home for Xbox achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies. I'm your host, Brandon Freeman. Thank you so much for listening. At Z to Z, we love gaming, and in particular, grabbing achievements and gaining Gamerscore. We do news, reviews, and interviews. It's about achievements, we'll unlock it. You can find show notes for this show, as well as previous shows, on our website, z2z.com. This is episode 127. You can also contact us with questions and comments on Twitter, at Z2Z, Z-E-D-T-O-Z-E-D, over at our forums, forum.z2z.com, or email us directly, contact@z2z.com. Well, we're back to another two-man show. It is Proulx and I. How you doing, Proulx?
I'm having a great week. How about you?
Good. I'm doing just fine, thanks. And I want to, we'll start off by just saying how awesome I've mentioned it multiple times, but how fantastic is our community, specifically in just the amazing outpouring of support that I've received. So many people have sent me messages and contacted me and just said, hey, awesome for trying to get your sleep underway. Fantastic for you to, share with your struggles and what you're going through. Like, it's really wonderful, and you would be greatly missed if you're not on the show. So that really fills me with joy. Thank you so much, everybody. I really appreciate it. And that's why we'll start with this first question here from Facial Flurry. Says, hey, so, it's been a week. Changing your sleeping patterns. How's that going for you? Okay, so it's not great. It's fine, right?
A week is pretty early on, though, right?
I'm getting my 7. Okay, yeah. I've been pretty good about that. Although last night I could not fall asleep. I was tossing and turning all night. That sucked. But normally I've been getting my 7. I've been going to bed on time and doing that thing. I have played nearly 0 video games, which sucks. That's super frustrating. And I feel so freaking rushed to do everything, because it's I wake up at 5, I go to work, I get home, and I gotta go pick up the kids. I'm home for 3 minutes to let the dog out, and then I gotta go to the gym, and then I come home, shower, dinner, get the kids' homework, get the kids to bed, and now it's 8 o'clock. At 9 o'clock, kids are in bed, and it's okay, I've got 45 minutes to do all of my stupid daily Microsoft games, the Solitaire, Mahjong, puzzles, Minesweeper, check in on Fallout Shelter. There goes all that time. Do my daily on Prominence Poker, and up there, it's 9:45. Time to go brush your teeth. That is my life now? Come on. This is just ridiculous. So still trying to work that thing out. And then we got baseball on 2 of the nights. My daughter has soccer. It's just so much going on, Proulx. So much going on.
I feel you, man. I really do.
When are you interested in having kids at all at some point? Is that on the table?
Probably not, I'd say it's more likely not than is likely for me. But I'm fluid about it, but it's something that would be distant in the future, if ever. I'll say that. Gotcha.
Yeah, so, they are a significant time sink, it turns out. But, they do bring a level of happiness. It is fun. My son he's killing it in baseball right now, so that's been nice. But anyway, let's talk about gaming, because that's what we're here to do. I did do some gaming this week, but I want to hear about you, because if you guys listen to the tail end of the show, there's a top team from the GTA SC last week who I'm in presence with. So let's hear it, Proulx.
Oh,
Where'd you get all those points?
Oh, yeah. Well, I actually told you most of those points last week.
Oh, that all counted?
Just because of how that worked. But there's going to be some repeats on this list, and there's some other interesting things to talk about as well. So, more Minecraft stuff.
Did you do the new aquatic update at all?
Of course not, Fream, because the new stuff doesn't have worlds out for it yet. So how the heck am I supposed to do that? That doesn't compute. You know what I'm
saying? Sure.
No, I haven't touched it yet. I'm well behind on my Minecraft. What I do is I try to get a couple of achievements a day in Minecraft so I can spread that love out as long as possible.
That makes sense.
I'm not going to lose I'm not going to lose any stacks for any while here, so I've got a good chunk of both points and TA to go around. So I did complete as much as possible right now the Apple TV version. I got the final achievement that I was missing, which was play for 100 days.
Mm-hmm.
So that version's done, although apparently it's getting this new aquatic update, which we'll talk about later. I haven't tested it, but I don't think it's getting the achievements still, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on with that specific version, but that's neither here nor there. I've also played the Android version and the Windows 10 version, so that's my Minecraft for this week. Mm-hmm. Been playing some Master Chief Collection, as I have been doing for feels like years now, and our sessions were actually pretty successful this week. But we're coming towards the tail end of the Halo 4 portion of it. Probably going to move into a different game here pretty soon. But I've also been working daily on... so they have the Halo 4 Spartan Ops mode.
Right. Yep.
And you have to complete all of them on Legendary by yourself.
Yeah.
Now, let me explain to you why this is the dumbest and most pointless mode of all time. Think of... I guess it's... I wouldn't even compare it to something like a horde mode, because the enemies don't come to you. There's like mini objectives and stuff, and more enemies keep spawning, but you can die, and there's no penalty for dying.
Okay.
So basically, you run into an area where
like
there's
even
a whole...
mid game you could die and stuff.
Oh yeah. There's no penalty for dying. So there's actually no reason that you couldn't not eventually get all of these things done. So there's 10 episodes. With 5 chapters each. There's 50 total missions you have to play. And I'm playing on Legendary Solo because that's an achievement. And each mission, I would say, between 30 and 60 minutes.
Okay.
But it's so annoying because all it is run into a group of enemies, kill as many as you can until you die, spawn, then run into the same group of enemies with less people in it, kill as many people as you can, and then die. There's no challenge there. There's no dynamic enjoyment there. It's literally a war of attrition with you versus the game. Will you stick with this long enough to complete it? God, it is so mind-numbing and so boring and so frustrating. It's terrible. So, but I do one of those a day. Hopefully, I'll eventually get to the end. I'm on episode 6 of 10 now, but we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, that sounds like that opening scene in the Call of Duty, Beaches of Normandy, where you just keep throwing Spartans at it, just throwing bodies.
Yep. I was also thinking of the movie, although I didn't see the movie, but the premise of the movie Edge of Tomorrow, I think it was called, with Tom Cruise, where he just... Oh, yeah.
It's
like a
repeat,
Groundhog Day scenario. He just keeps
Yeah.
playing the same battle over and over and over. Oh, God, it's so frustrating. And it's just a terrible mode. It's not fun like Horde mode.
It sounds insufferable.
It is really awful. So, anyways, I completed Chess Ultra this week.
Yeah, there was quite the crew going down on that.
Yeah, so we talked a tiny bit about it last week, and we had 32, we'll say, users between people and their alts.
Sure.
And so everybody got those achievements fairly early on. Those are the hardest ones to get, of course, because you need to win a 32-player tournament.
Is that really time-consuming, like just to get coordinating with everybody and the alts and stuff? Or is it not too bad?
I think from the start, and Chin Doctor was the one who organized this. I think from the first person getting the achievement to the last person getting the achievement, we may have started on a Wednesday or Thursday, and I think by the end of the weekend, everybody was done.
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, no,
I mean, because you're not getting it for the alts, obviously.
No, exactly. And all you have to do is go in there and quit. You can just resign.
That makes sense.
Or delete the game. And so that part was easy, and the rest of it was also easy with a chess solver. And then of course you'd need what you'd have to do is, for a lot of the achievements, is have a second account and a second Xbox. So I got to turn on my Xbox One S for the first time in months.
Oh, that's
so
funny.
I could play myself in chess to get some of these silly achievements. But a lot of TA in Chess Ultra. A lot. I think it was like 3,000 something, and I spent 6 hours on it, maybe. So
to get the full completion. That's not too bad.
Not hard. If you have either a boosting buddy or someone on another Xbox, you can do it yourself. Lots of points there for you to go for. Okay, let's keep going on. I played some Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris with my girlfriend, and it's a lot of fun. We're having a really good time going through that game. Not much to say other than it's isometric puzzle solving and combat. But it's a lot like Guardian of Light, which I played before, and it's really good. We're enjoying going through that. Just played a chapter or two, nothing significant.
Does she like help you with achievements and stuff? Like, is she on board with that, or is it kind of like, all right, are you ruining my game experience? What the hell is wrong with you?
No, not at all. Okay. She'll pick a game, like if she likes a game, like she played The Sims a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just like, yeah, go for it. Or the other one was Stardew Valley.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, just go ahead and play it. That's fine. That's cool. She'll go for them if like I ask, like for like random to-do list. I'm like, I have to grind this out, but she doesn't like. It's not like she doesn't care that much about it.
Yeah.
So she'll just play the game and have fun with it, and then I'll just kind of clean up whatever afterwards. So, but she wanted to play a game together, and so we picked this game, and we're actually it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun co-op. You've played it, right? Haven't you?
A little bit. I mean, I got carried a little bit by Chin Doctor at one point, but. I mean, I played solo, and so that's why it's like, I think that would be way more fun, like, with somebody.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But my wife she does not want to play video games, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's limited. Like, we do maybe an hour every, maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah. So
it's not super, intense or anything like that, but it's every now and again when we're just bored for a little while, we'll jump on there together, and it's a lot of fun. It's a good time. Lots of laughs to be had there. So,
right.
Here's the big game for the week for me, Fream. I started Fallout 3 and have been working my way
on the PC.
On the PC, working my way through it completely legitimately. I've got
Are you serious?
6. No, I have not. Of course not.
Okay, I was gonna say like.
So this was a struggle, right? If they're
to do the console commands.
Yeah, well, that was not the struggle. So maybe not everybody's aware of the situation with Fallout 3 PC, but the game came out for Games for Windows Live back in 2008 or 9 or 7 or whatever it was. It's the only game that I can think of off the top of my head where you can get achievements literally by just typing commands.
Yep.
And it's considered legitimate if you do it that way.
Totally.
It was left in by Bethesda for whatever reason on the PC version, and you can literally just go type a command, add achievement 1, add achievement 2, all the way down to 68 or whatever it is. Something I thought I'd missed the boat on a long time ago. Well, one of our community members had gotten it not too long ago, so I messaged him and I asked him, I said, did you have to do anything special? Was it like a real headache to get it? And he's like, no, just go for it. So I did. And it did take a little bit of effort. You had to buy the Steam version, find a legitimate key for the Games for Windows Live version of Fallout 3.
Yeah.
Download the Games for Windows Live client for Windows 10.
Okay.
But all of this stuff isn't too difficult. It's not terrible once you kind of have everything set in front of you. And so I'm in. I'm 16 achievements in, and I'm just kind of I might just ride this for as long as I can, sort of situation, because it's super. It's obviously super easy. I can get these points whenever I want. So, definitely really enjoying Fallout 3 for PC.
You say enjoying, but like, come on, like
no, I tease.
It's got to be just mind numbing.
Oh, it is, but I don't. I've only done.
Yeah.
Why
haven't you just done all of them?
Because I don't want to blow that whole bit.
Chunk?
While I don't have to. So
I suppose. What are you saving them for GTAC? Is that
if I need them for GTAC, I'm not too concerned, but it is nice to have them in my back pocket. So I'm just popping a few a day.
Yeah.
Just to have them. I would just do them all at once, or I would save them. Yeah. Also, if I wasn't, I don't know, I'm halfway concerned that somehow they're going to shut it down. Like Games for Windows Live is actually finally going to be shut off, and so I kind of want to get at least some of them keep going. Kind of get a little traction with them. But
Yeah, it makes sense.
But we'll see. So I'm not going to pop them all tomorrow or anything, but I'll probably get them done within the next couple of weeks. So
Gotcha.
And I played a bunch of Through the Woods, which you'll hear about here on Reviews Ed. The only other game I've played this week, I started tonight, which was Cartoon Network, Punch Time Explosion, Triple XL, XXX, awesome.
But what's the real name? Because that's kind of close to it. I know you're just messing around, but it is a ridiculously long name. It is
Cartoon Network. Yeah, it is Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL is what it's called.
Oh my god. That is a mouthful.
Yes, it is. And the game is a Smash clone.
Yes.
Very bad Smash clone, by the way.
If it doesn't work, bad like it's not fun.
Well, if you've ever wondered why is Nintendo successful at the things that they do, compare the copies of their games with their games, and you'll understand instantly why Nintendo is top of their game. I mean, there's nobody that's even come close to a Smash Brothers game, and this is about as far from close to a Smash Brothers game as you can get. It's clunky and awkward and unbalanced and ugly, but whatever. I mean, it is what it is. For a cheap cash-in Smash clone, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
Is there any fun to be had?
It's okay. I'm early on. I just started it tonight. About, I don't know, a few chapters into the main story mode. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Now, are you playing with anybody?
Oh, no. I'm playing just the story mode on hard because you have to beat it on hard.
Yeah.
Which is causing me some frustration. But it's just because the game isn't super well designed.
Sure.
Especially coming from, if this was Smash, I would be done with the game by now, essentially. But it's so bleh that it's frustrating. But I'm early on. And I've only have 5 characters unlocked, so it might be that I can find someone who I can just run through the game with. So It's really interesting actually seeing, as someone who plays Smash fairly frequently, the characters that they're kind of based off of.
Oh yeah.
Because I don't even know this character at all, but there's a character who is very Kirby-like, and I main Kirby in Smash Brothers, so it's funny to kind of see another version of him. But if you're ever confused about why Nintendo is successful and other companies try to do these things and they're not, play some Smash and then play some Cartoon Network Punch Time Explosion XL, or play Mario Kart and then play I don't even know.
Anything.
any other car racer, and you'll know instantly why. Nintendo is good at game design for sure. So
interesting.
Yes, that's it. So that's it. That's what I've played this week, and pretty slim week for me.
So the things I've been obviously doing my Microsoft games, did a little bit of Mahjong and got some achievements there, and finally got my Diamond challenge in the word games part of it. I have not pulled a Fream yet. I am currently up to date with all of my daily challenges, and I'm keeping my streak alive in that. So you will see if I can make it the remaining, as of recording, 13 days. So I'm crossing my fingers there. I've been doing some Fallout Shelter, and there's a few of those achievements that I'm just kind of, I guess technically I'm sitting on, right? They're preloaded to an extent. I mean, I could do them now if I wanted, but really I'm just grinding out the final crafting legendary things. I finished all the themes, and I got the achievement for that, and I just kind of maintenance now. It'll take a significant amount of time just because everything's time gated, and I obviously don't want to be spending real money on the Nuka Quantums to get to move faster. So I'll just go ahead and let that thing sail into oblivion. And then the big game that I put all my time into, and this was on Saturday, I had a random to-do list item for it. And we did cover it in Reviews Ed at one point. It is Bulb Boy. Did you play Bulb Boy?
No, I never touched Bulb Boy.
Okay, so I know Warren and Damien did, and so it is a point and click game. It's relatively short. It takes maybe 2-3 hours. There are 2 missable achievements in there. One of them is barely missable. Like, you literally just have to sit on a screen for an extra 15 seconds. That's not significant, but if you're just rushing through it, you'd miss it. But it is early in the game, so if you did miss it and came back to it, not a big deal. And then the other one I'll speak to in a minute. The game is very peculiar. So it's essentially set up as this boy who is his head is a light bulb. His grandpa is a light bulb. His dog is a dog that has like wings. It's a goofy cartoon animation style, but it's also crude and like kind of it's got the gross out humor. I know in reviews that they talked about the giant poop that you fight. Like, you literally fight a turd that comes climbing out of the toilet. It is a manifestation of your mom trying to attack you. Like, it's pretty crazy what happens in this game. These aliens come down, essentially, and they take your grandfather's memories and they distort them into horrific nightmare visions that are trying to kill you. Ultimately, that's the background story. And so you have to just kind of traverse through your house, which has now been ramshackled or ransacked by these aliens. And so, just light puzzle solving using your bulb head. And but it's kind of limbo style, that if you get killed, and that is one achievement, is getting killed by everything. Like, it's interesting because since you are a light bulb, like, hearing your head get crushed and shatter is like, it resonates kind of disturbingly. Like, you got your poor little face, and then it's like popping a fluorescent light bulb, and it's like, oh, poor bulb boy, that didn't go well for you, did it? But you do have to die a bunch of times, and like throughout the game, maybe there's like 4 or 5 death scenes that you need to do. And then the final boss, there's like 8. The final boss is a series of like events that you have to, it's kind of these little mini levels that you have to, mini puzzles you have to solve and just get wrecked on. I loosely used a guide, mainly to not miss those 2 missable achievements. But the puzzle solving's pretty darn straightforward, that I only got hung up maybe on a couple of times trying to beat a boss or here or there. Overall, not too bad, right? The achievements are fine. The one achievement that was a huge pain in the butt is there is a time-dependent achievement. And there's a grandfather clock after the first level, or at the first boss, essentially. And you'll see a clock on the wall, and it's real time. Like, so whatever time it was, you'd see it there. And I was playing, and I just, like, I was playing through, and I knew I would miss that achievement. And I was finishing up the boss, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have 10 minutes left. Like, I think I can do this before midnight, and then I can come back at midnight, actual time midnight, and complete this game. And so I was rushing as fast as I could. I beat the game, and I thought maybe it'd be a chapter select or something. Not even close. So I went back to where it was, just so it's like, okay, I know then if I continue at this point, this will be my checkpoint. And it was like 12:08. And I'm like, man, that sucks. All right, well, I got to go to bed. I'll come back and check this out tomorrow. So I decided, so we went to church, and I came back, and it was, after hitting the grocery store, it was 11:52 in the afternoon. And I said, oh, you know what? I wonder if this works on a 12-hour clock. Like, could you come back at noon and not midnight? Would it know? Because essentially the hands will still be pointing vertically in the game. So I wonder. And so I get on there and I load up my save. It's 11:56. And the checkpoint is not close to where it is. It sent me back a screen to the beginning of this little memory, and I had to quick do that stuff. By the time I finished that, it was 12:02. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is stupid. All right, fine. We'll do it the old-fashioned way. So that night before I went to bed, it was like, 9 o'clock? Yeah, 9 o'clock. And I decided, you know what? My Xbox is going to take a trip to Greenland. And so I went to my region, and I went to Greenland, and my 9 o'clock turned into midnight, and I went to the in-game spot I needed to go, and bada bing, there it was. And so I got my Bulb Boy completion.
Ooh, nice.
So yeah, that was fun and kind of annoying. But and I also, just before recording here, when I was doing the contest roundup, I played a little Trials Fusion to get a T for Matthew, the Gamertag Challenge. And I was like, oh, okay, here's an easy achievement. I have to just post a time on another player's created track. That should be easy enough. So okay, I'm gonna go in and I'll find another player's track. Okay. No, DLC. No, that needs DLC. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, is there any here that don't need DLC? Are you kidding me? So I poked around. Oh, here's one. Okay. It's hard, though. God, I haven't played this game in a long time. Maybe I could do it. Maybe it's not that hard. Okay. I played like 20 seconds of it. And I'm like, oh, nope. Okay. We got to find something that has no DLC and is less than hard. Okay. Oh, okay, a medium one. Here's a medium one. Like, I could do medium. I did medium on Trials HD. Like, I can do medium. Nope. I spent about 10 minutes on that. Nope, can't finish the medium track. Okay, there has to be an easy one in here somewhere. Searched for about another 5 minutes and finally found this easy track. Easy track took me 12 minutes to get through. I am not good at Trials. I'm going to throw that out there right now. That is not my type of game. I cannot flutter the control. And I wonder, I didn't even look. I should look at what my settings are for my Elite controller. Like, did I change the triggers? I wonder if I'm not depressing it all the way. Like, if it's only 75% and because it's pressure sensitive. I bet that's what happened. That's why I was going too slow. Because there were some jumps, I was like, God, I'm barely making this one. Although, I mean, some of them are indeed that curated to the point where, like, you need to be just feather perfect on your triggers. But anyway, not me. I am bad at Trials. So that was my gaming for the week. A little Bulb Boy action. I have a plan of what I want to tackle tomorrow. It's supposed to rain, so maybe I get some extra gaming in.
Oh, I know how that is. It's been raining for the past week here, and it's supposed to rain till Wednesday.
Jeez Louise. And I played a couple matches of Sea of Thieves with my son. Like, we've been doing that, hitting the high seas, just earning some money. Nothing special, just chipping away at that. I'm excited for the Hungering Maw that's coming out. Is that a week and a half now? 2 weeks from? Yeah, about 2 weeks.
Oh, that's coming out before E3 then, huh?
Yeah, end of May. I think it was the 29th.
Okay.
Did you see the image?
I did.
They posted it on Twitter.
I did. I actually really liked it. I don't know what it was, but I thought
it's a big old shark.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, okay. It's a giant shark underneath the galleon, and it's like twice as big as a galleon.
It's a megalodon.
Okay, but something like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I like that. That sounds fun.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, we'll see what that ends up bringing. If it's like just another, like, if it's like the Kraken, where you just gotta fight the giant shark. Like, okay. I think I need a little more in terms of gameplay elements, but it wouldn't be terrible. It'd at least be something to do. Let's move on to some other news stuff. There's been a lot of activity. You can tell with E3 right around the corner that things are getting exciting. And it was no surprise when Bethesda announced Rage 2. That the Walmart leak outed them in some regard. Did you ever play Rage 1?
No, and I didn't really think anybody did. So I was very surprised that Rage 2 was even a thing.
I mean, I liked it because, like, it was kind of a hybrid Borderlands Fallout, right? It had that, like, quirky over-the-top Borderlands action, but also, like, the heavy RPG elements and, future dystopian apocalyptic wasteland of Fallout.
Yeah, well, the trailer...
That was cool.
The trailer for the Rage 2 looks to have Mad Max written all over it, which makes sense because a lot of those properties take a lot of liberty from that series. So,
and that the developers are the same developers who worked on Mad Max.
Oh, there you go.
So there's that, or at least part of it. I think they contributed to whatever it was. Bethesda's helping. They are helping Bethesda. Id in conjunction with, and I forgot who it is. I should have remembered. Anyway, I wonder. I didn't. The live action commercial stuff that they had was kind of. It was like a little too in your face. Like I prefer maybe a little bit more. And that I know that's not really the style of the game. Is subtlety. Like that's not the idea. But like I prefer maybe a little bit more muted on that action.
Yeah, honestly, it doesn't do much for me just because I never played the first Rage and have no interest in it. So I'm kind of like, okay. I mean, this is like one of those things that the announcement has come and passed me by, and the game will eventually come and pass me by. Probably nothing I'll ever really pay attention to, but that's just my taste.
I played about 2 or 3 hours because I had, back in the day, I had a random to-do list achievement that showed up on here, and I thought it was early in the game. And so I played I think it was essentially the first dungeon, as it were. Like how in Borderlands, like where you get, there's that first wanted, you killed the first bad guy. It was kind of something like that in Rage, where you went into your first quote unquote dungeon, fort, hideout, whatever you want to call it. And then I finished that and I was like, man, this is like, there's a lot. This game is fun, but this is big. This is daunting. And I won't get to this random to-do list achievement, and that was the last I thought about it. So that's unfortunate. But yeah,
it's also interesting too. You mentioned the Walmart leak, although we talked about it last week, and
how fake it is.
I'm still not convinced it's a legitimate leak. But why Bethesda when any game company announces something now this close to E3, you're like, okay, why is this happening? Why are they doing this? Why are they dumping like the low key stuff now, so that we're more excited when the bigger stuff comes out? Because Rage 2 isn't going to set the world on fire, but maybe Fallout 5 or whatever they're going to do next will. So I'm not sure. It's just like, why bother doing this close to E3?
Yeah, right, because, I mean, you'd think that Bethesda having their own presentation at E3, they're still doing that this would have been a really exciting reveal that they could have done a lot with. And so, maybe they just needed to, like, kindle the fire a little bit to say, hey, remember this game? Remember, guys? So that when we announce it on stage at E3, like, you're not going to look at us like, derp? What?
Yeah. Exactly.
So maybe that's the approach. Because I can easily see them just being like, oh yeah, that game, and not really getting the level of excitement they want. But I can't, like, a game like this kind of caliber, I mean, it's not going to be their closer or anything. No. But in terms of new stuff, they might open the show with this.
Yeah, I would expect that. And that's why it's surprising that they're announcing it 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I guess, now before E3. Like, why even bother doing that? Put that in your presentation. Even if Walmart, that quote-unquote leak, happened to get something right or a few things right, why bother putting that out there?
Right.
Why not just save it for your presentation? Because then you can say, oh, you did see this and this coming, but you didn't see this, and you didn't see this coming. So, I don't know. But I guess we'll see when it happens.
Yeah, because you got to, I mean, I'm thinking they open with this and they close with Skyrim 6, Elder Scrolls 6.
If they close with Elder Scrolls 6, yeah, they should do that, because I would be very excited.
Well, it's going to be like when Microsoft opens with Forza Horizon 4 and closes with Forza Horizons 5. I mean, that'll be exciting.
So, in one of the fake leaks, there was a Morrowind remastered, which got me very excited. Even though I knew it was fake, I'm like, oh man, I would love for them to do Morrowind remastered. They're not going to, but I would love for them to do it. So, it is what it is.
A bit of sad news out there. Well, I mean, I guess it's not too sad because no one played their games. But Boss Key Productions, Cliffy B, Cliff Bleszinski's studio, shut down this last week. They most recently did the shooter Lawbreakers, which completely failed, and they came out with using that tech to do Radical Heights, a battle royale. It had like BMX bikes, and it was just kind of wacky and whatnot. And unfortunately, they just it wasn't gonna pan out. And Cliff Bleszinski had a post saying, 4 years ago, I set out to make the world-class video game studio and hired some of the best talent in the industry. They worked tirelessly to produce quality products, and while we had our ups and downs, we'd like to think we had fun doing it. Lawbreakers was a great game that unfortunately failed to gain traction, and in the last-ditch attempt, we scrambled to do our take on the huge Battle Royale genre with Radical Heights, which was well-received. However, it was too little, too late. As for myself, I'm going to take some time off and reflect. I need to focus on myself and family, as well as my Aussie, Teddy, who is slowly fading from us, which I think must be his dog.
Yeah, that sounds sad. That ending is real sad. That's too bad. Here's the thing about Cliff. And I guess game design in general, right? Like, he's always been kind of the bro game designer. You know what I mean? It's interesting watching his career, but starting with Jazz, Jackrabbit, and then moving on to, I actually don't know what he did in between, but then moving on to Gears. But here's the thing, like, so take Gears, which, you may not love Gears, but the first Gears was tremendously important, and was fantastic game design. I mean, the game was super tight, like really fun to play. Introduced a lot of new elements. It was a leader in this sort of third-person shooter. And now look what he's doing now. He's aping, he's kind of following the trend with the Battle Royale stuff. And right. I don't know if it's a product of his success. Maybe it was just a fluke that Gears was just as massively popular as it was. It's tough to say. But he clearly went from an industry leader to a follower, and it's a rough fall. I feel for him. I kind of don't feel too bad for him because taking some time off and living wherever the heck he lives with all of his bags of money is probably not too tough for him. Although I do feel bad about his dog. I'm sure we're going to get a bounce back story, in the next year or two about Cliffy B starting another or joining a high profile game studio for a project. He's the kind of guy that's not going to avoid the limelight for very long. And I wish him all the best, but it's just really interesting. It's a really fascinating journey watching the way his career is kind of, roller coastering at this point.
Yeah. And like he had a tweet too, back in his old timeline that said, hey, coming out of retirement to make some really great games or whatever 4 years ago. And he retweeted with a comment and he said, too soon. So I like he's a very lightning rod character. I mean, like you said, he's that bro mentality, especially from coming off of Gears of War. So he rubs people the wrong way. And I'm curious. I'm curious if like he actually will come back, or in a lead kind of role, like starting a studio, doing that kind of thing, or if he's just kind of going to join a creative team somewhere and maybe stay a little bit in the background. I just don't see that in his personality from everything that he's showcased so far.
I kind of like him. I see the frustration with him. And the annoyance with like you say, his larger than life sort of personality. But I kind of do. I kind of feel for the guy. And again, like he struck lightning with Gears. Like that was so popular. That was so important in 2006 or 2007, whenever it came out. So
yeah.
And obviously, the whole trilogy was massively, massively successful. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think this is the last we've heard from Cliffy B. But good luck to... which, by the way, remember when he got really offended? But when people started calling him Cliffy B, he's like, no, that's not my name anymore.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, that was silly. But,
we were just talking about that. I was just talking about that with some friends where they were like, now that, like, you knew him back in the day when they were, young and hip and cool, and they had one name, one persona, and then they get older, or like graduate college or get a real job or whatever, and they're like, "Could you call me this?" It's like, no, sorry, bud, that ship has sailed. Like I had a friend named Davey. He always went by Davey, and he's like, "Guys, now that I graduated, could you call me David?" Not a chance. There's no way. Like, you're Davey. Like, you can't just switch. No, your new friends, yeah, they can call you Crapface for all I care, but like that, I'm not changing your name, bud.
New friends and fake friends. They'll call you whatever you want, but not.
That's right.
Not old friends.
That's right. That's not the only bit of bad news we got this week. Metro Exodus was delayed. The newest entry into the Metro series. Now, do you think this delay was? I mean, I'm sure the team would love some additional time to work on this, but do you think this has to do with the purchase of Koch Media by who took that? Deep Silver? No, Deep Silver got bought. Koch Media got bought. Volition got bought. THQ bought them. Do you think that has anything to do with the acquisition? That shuffling people around, doing anything?
I don't know. It's weird. They must have just found a better time for them to release it, because it seemed to be, we didn't get a tremendous amount about this game, but we were getting some information at a fairly steady pace. I
mean, that gameplay that they showed at E3, or that extended trailer there, that seemed pretty significant, although very choreographed.
Yeah.
From what I hear through Game Informer or something, is that actually is very close to in-game action. Like, that's actually pretty similar to a set piece that's in the game.
And the other Metros were they had those sort of big moments as well, so it's not surprising that that's just built into it. I'm not sure. It's certainly possible that the higher up people were the ones that pushed this further along down the road, but maybe more than likely, it's probably just they wanted some more time. They can afford it now, especially with bigger backers, and maybe there's a more advantageous time to release it as well. So, yeah.
This thing screams of when did the delay? I forgot to look at when the delay said it was coming out, but wouldn't you think end of winter? I mean, it's a cold environment, right? I mean, wouldn't this be a great late February game?
And I think the collection was a winter game as well, if I remember correctly. But
because they just said 2019, but I don't know if they said hey, it's gonna be this time. What they're thinking. I'm trying to. It does say Q1 2019, so maybe that's getting out of the holiday season and giving it the Christmas time to buckle down and polish it up a little bit.
Maybe they saw the success of something like Far Cry, and they were like, "Let's get on board that train." Because when there's no competition, it's amazing that people will buy these games.
Yeah, absolutely. How about we talked about earlier in the show the Minecraft Aquatic update?
Yes. Of course.
How does the achievement list look? Because these are achievements for everything, right?
Well, no, technically not everything. This is actually going to be the last update that the Xbox 360 version will get. Now, we're kind of getting conflicting information here because this is part 1 of the Aquatic update.
Yeah, it does say phase 1. That's weird.
Yeah, we're not really sure what that means, especially in terms of achievements. But right now, I think there are 6 or 10. Hold on, I'll look it up real quick. 6 or 10 achievements in this Aquatic update. They went to most of the versions. They went to almost all the current versions, iOS, Kindle, Windows 10, the new Xbox One version, which is just Minecraft.
Right. But not the Xbox One edition.
Nope, which will not be getting any more updates. And I don't believe it's live on Android yet. If memory serves me correctly. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it looks like about 10 achievements in the Aquatic update. It's actually here listed on TA. It's title update, Aquatic 1 or update 1.4, Aquatic Update Aquatic dash phase 1. So we can maybe assume we'll get some more achievements in the phase 2. I'm not sure, and we don't even know when it's coming. So, but yeah, this is a big update. Well, not a big update, but it's an update where lots of underwater sort of gameplay is happening. The achievements don't look too tough, but that's from somebody who hasn't played the update yet.
I mean, like, is, you know, that tutorial world, doesn't that have an underwater ruin? Like, you could just go to that?
Well, yes, but a lot of the achievements for this update have to do with, like, new elements introduced, like staying underwater for 3 days, in-game days, I think.
That's eat nothing but dried kelp for 3 in-game days. Like,
so
what the hell?
Those things aren't possible with the previously current version of Minecraft.
Spend a day underwater.
Yeah. Like there were potions that would allow you to spend a few minutes underwater, but you couldn't spend the whole day underwater, as far as I understood it. So,
well, the way I understand that achievement is like just cumulative time underwater.
Ew. It could be
not like a consecutive day.
It very well could be.
But I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, nobody. Well, people have tracked it. Yeah, there's people who earned it. What does it say? Let's look at the guide.
Yeah.
There's 5 guides.
Wow, 5 guides already? It's been like 3 days.
Here you go. Putting the difficulty at peaceful ensures you cannot die underwater.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Easy
Just
peasy.
Stand underwater on peaceful. You cannot die.
Wow, I could do that on... Okay, so if I did that on Windows 10 right now, I would get, let's see, spend a day, 665 TA for a 30-point achievement.
Yeah. There's a bunch of... So somebody else... So that post was from Damike XSC. Good God, let's eat. Also posed, he said, hey, the above way, peaceful, totally great way to get the achievement. However, there is another way. Without water-breathing potions, you need a solid block and a bubble column. So if you go to the deep ocean biome, you can get a bubble column that sticks out, and the bubbles will go and keep your oxygen at full. So if you find one of those, jump inside, and you'll go to the bottom of that ravine. You put a solid block next to the column, and then you just get bubbles, and you sit there until it happens. So that's probably the intention that when they came up with the solution. Like that's what probably Mojang was thinking, and the clever people of TA and the achievement hunting community said, not so fast. We've got a better solution. We're just going to cheat it.
So there's one achievement called Me Gold for digging up a buried treasure. There's one for finding a shipwreck. That's Ahoy. Lots of achievements that could be mistaken for
Sea of
Thieves achievements. So there you go.
Crossover.
Hey, you know what? They could easily do that. They could do yeah. In fact, I'd be surprised if they don't. Maybe this is the groundwork for a Minecraft Sea of Thieves update.
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd be down with that.
I haven't done it in a while, but unfortunately I haven't watched the trailer yet though. But how excited am I for Zombieland 2? How's that for some zombie news?
10 years old.
Did you like Zombieland 1?
Of course. I loved the movie.
Loved it.
It was fantastic.
I loved it. You know, in my head, and I know I've seen you like on camera and stuff like this, but like just listening to your voice and I like you remind me so much of the Michael Cera character in that game. And I picture you running around in circles of your car trying to get your keys in there. Like I just have this image of like that being you at some point.
There was a time in my youth when I don't know how much the story I want to tell. I was at a party and everybody in the group decided that I reminded them of Michael Cera. So it's not the first time that I've heard that accusation before. So, although I don't see the resemblance, I've been actually rewatching Arrested Development to get ready for the new season. But yeah, I'll take it. I guess I'll take it.
Wait, no, I'm sorry, Jesse Eisenberg.
That's
who that is.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Okay,
I misspoke.
Yeah,
because you don't look like Michael Cera.
No,
I mean, to be honest, you don't look like Jesse Eisenberg either.
I don't.
But your voice, I hear your voice.
Okay,
and your cadence, your inflection, a lot of that.
So do I remind you of Mark Zuckerberg?
No. Sorry.
All right, that's fair.
Although that maybe I love that where when he was on talking to Congress and they put him in that data outfit.
Yep, the meme.
That was freaking great.
That was a good one. Yeah.
Last thing, news item I want to talk about are these Xbox adaptive controllers. Have you seen these things?
These are pretty wild, right?
They're super cool.
Yeah.
And they're pricey. They're very expensive. In terms of what you because it's kind of a peripheral. Like you ultimately, they can use it. You can use this as a standalone. And you can use this to supplement another controller. Correct?
Yeah.
So it's. And watching some of the video that they kind of I don't know, sizzle reel is not really the right word for it, but like seeing some of the people with the disabilities who now have the ability to use these creative, functioning controllers to be able to play these games, like just watching, like, what was it, Overcooked. Like I struggle with working hands and brain and like everything. Like I couldn't imagine if I was, missing digits or had something like that would be so hard. And like to see the approach that people can use with these adaptive controllers, like that is awesome.
Well,
and go ahead.
First off, I just wanted to say that this video that we'll put it in the show notes, but the video from Microsoft is ripped straight from Apple. I mean, this is an Apple ad via Microsoft.
Sure.
That being said, it is super awesome what Microsoft is doing here, putting the resources and the development into these controllers. For people who don't have, the standard level of accessibility is amazing. And it was awesome to watch these people who had to use, these alternative means of playing these games. But to be given those means by the company itself, I think it's tremendously significant.
Yeah. I had a couple of stories. One was like, I've just heard a lot of people who, when they talk about the approachability of games and where they struggle, and it's like something from our standpoint that's super trivial, like a QTE somewhere. Right? Or like, even like in games like Walking Dead, like we trivialize the fact that you have to do a QTE here and there as some quote unquote gameplay. Yet like that is a completely approachable game for people with disabilities, yet they put these roadblocks in there where they can't do something fast enough, or they can't move a trigger or pull, a reticle inside of, this particular zone for a period of time. Like, and so they're stuck in a story-based game because of these artificial constructs that they put in there. And so, like, to have them to be able to do this is awesome. The other story is there's a customer of mine who her son, he's got some very significant health issues. I think it's a form of cerebral palsy, but he loves video games, but he's constricted to like a wheelchair, and his disease is degenerating to the point where it is like pulling his bones and musculature together, and it's like almost crushing him. Ugh. And so he opted to go undergo a surgery that is supposed to alleviate this, and he would gain more mobility. He'd still need the wheelchair and stuff, but he at least gained control over these things, and it's a very experimental procedure, but they've had some success with it, and so like the likelihood of him coming out of this is fairly high. But anyway, so this customer happened to be in town and was just talking about, and this was in March, and I was talking about the game Manual Samuel, because it was the ZZ Game of the Month, and I told her about how the game works and how it's like constantly just trying to wreck your day by making your guy fall over, and you have to left trigger, right trigger, left trigger, right trigger to walk, and then use these for your hand. And she's like, that actually would be a perfect game for my son. Like, I just got him an Xbox, and I'm trying to think of like what we can do. And I'm like, what? Yeah, but like, when you say a perfect game, like, it's really frustrating. And she's like, no, but that's the idea, is that he needs to relearn how to walk. He needs to relearn how to do all these things and really concentrate and focus. Like, I need to move my left foot. I need to move my right foot. And if like, she's thinking, if this game can present that in a gamified way or a silly kind of way, that he might actually resonate with this and be like, this is really frustrating, but I am making progress in the game, and you know what? I can do this on my own. So I'm really excited to see that it's a 6 or 8 week procedure. So I think I might see her again, as far as that customer coming back out, like in August. And so I'm hoping I get a nice postscript on this story that it, something like that, therapy is the wrong word, but maybe it's the right word, but approachability through gaming, and connecting and resonating with somebody as they're trying to overcome something. I mean, like, hell, I told you guys last week, and it holds true today. The gaming for me is an exceptional release and a catharsis that gaming is so valuable and keeps me happy, and it triggers all the right emotions in my brain, and it's like, yes, I get so much satisfaction out of gaming and talking about gaming. And so I can only imagine why that other people feel and do and get the same sort of satisfaction out of this. So it's great that controllers like this and ways for more people to interact with gaming exist. You know what? And I bet any of these people, anybody with this type of controller, can still outgun and outplay any idiot on Fortnite Mobile. Because there's no way you can get good. You can be good on a phone. There's just no way.
Well, it's either way. I mean, like, this story is pretty fantastic all the way around. Even if you want to take the super cynical attitude of like, oh, Microsoft is just kind of looking for goodwill here, but it doesn't matter because people who weren't able to play or weren't able to play easily are going to be able to enjoy games more now. And, it's one of the cases where the ends justify the means. And like, this is such a net good for people who want to play these games, that it's a great feel-good story, but it's also really important for people who don't have the means otherwise.
Right. Totally agree. Awesome. Well, let's see. I think it's time we move into some listener feedback. Now, there was a ton of conversations on my friend feed just now. And again, I mentioned at the top of the show, I want to thank everybody for, so many people in the community sent me a message and gave me well wishes and good on yous and, just thank yous for all the everything. It really brightened my week. So thank you so much for everybody who I talked to and who sent a message. And we had a ton of comments from Facial LaFleur. So, Proulx, you likely don't know Facial. Facial is actually the guy who created the random to-do list. It was his brainchild back in the Achievement Hounds community.
Oh, okay.
And so we took it from him after 4 years. He ran for 3, I think that's right, and said, "Yeah, I can't do it anymore, and the hounds are dead, and so it should get in the hands of people who enjoy it." And so Facial kind of did his own thing, and he has resurfaced, has found the Discord chat, and has been exceptionally active, which is fantastic. We're super happy to have you back in the community, Facial. You're a good dude. And he was even telling, we had another Achievement Hound alumni come through, David MCC 1989. He popped into chat, and Facial's like, this place is actually really busy. Like, there's a lot of people talking in Discord. But not, like, and this is what I appreciate, because, like, sometimes I'll poke over in the Xbox One bros, the X1 bros community. There's too many people over there. It's madhouse. You can't, like, you can't, if you don't keep up with it, like, every second, you can't follow anything. And it's like if you ever go into, like, Xbox Quick, right? When Mike Ybarra does a mixer stream, and it's like, oh, it'd be interesting to just follow this and the side content, the normal Twitch streams or mixer streams, and it's just flying through. It's like, well, this is stupid. This is just garbage. You can't have a conversation in here. So I think our Discord community is awesome.
No,
Anyway.
I think we're right on that edge. Where like, yeah, maybe if you're gone for a day or two, you're not gonna catch up, but you can jump in and still feel right at home in the conversation. So we're right at that right point where you can be gone for a little while if you need to be. You can jump right back in, or you can keep an eye on it, and there's still interesting talk going on throughout the day. So it's really fantastic. Yeah, so join if you haven't. It's really, really good.
Absolutely. So let's start with his first question, or his second question after the sleep one. He said, hey, have you guys tried getting any significant figures on the show? So I stopped there, and in my head I'm like, yeah, no, my wife would not want to be on the show. Like, not even close. Your girlfriend, Proulx, Tammy? No, doesn't want to be on the show, I assume. Yeah. That's not what he means by significant figures. He means it would be cool to hear from those people about their gaming habits of like Larry Herb, other people from the Xbox team. Obviously he's just catching with the show, seeing where we're at. Now, back in the day, that was absolutely one of our goals. That was a goal for the show, and that's kind of why at the beginning in the intro we say news, reviews, and interviews. We had set ourselves up to be an interview type show. We wanted to engage with people in the achievement hunting community, in the Xbox community, the podcast community, and we did some of that at the beginning. We would reach out and have interviews. Ultimately, we don't have the resources to track those people down. B, most of that was kind of me talking and engaging, and I hear the sound of my own voice. I mean, people said that was a fault, or to a fault, where I didn't even let our guests talk. Hell, I'm not even letting you talk right now, Proulx.
But hang on.
You shut your mouth. No, but, so it's like, I'm not a good interviewer, and I especially now don't have the time to do the research and to be to give people the appropriate respect that they deserve for being on a show like ours, nor do we necessarily have the numbers to court somebody of that type of stature, but I certainly wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah, that being said, let's just put it out there. If anybody has a connection or an in with anybody up there in the Xbox community, let us know. We would certainly accommodate them and would love to have them on the show, but it's a lot harder to just kind of cold call someone to get them on the show, just to expect them to come on and chat with some random strangers on the internet for an hour. That's tough to do sometimes. So we're not opposed to it, like Fream said, and we would love to do it, but it's not necessarily the priority right now.
Yeah, and a lot of people as well, they if you're trying to get somebody in deep in Xbox, that you have to, there's so many things you have to do to, hoops to go through to get those channels lined up, that, I don't know if we have the bandwidth to follow through on something like that. But yes, we absolutely would love the opportunity. That's for darn sure. Anyway, so, we did have a question from Wallrunner Ninja, but it was addressed to Crandy, and it will be a fantastic question to ask him next week when he's back on the show. So I'm going to skip that now and say this comment from Stephen Carr on Twitter. He wants us to develop a cryptocurrency to support the show. Because, we've got so many other ways, Patreon, you go to Discord, Twitter, so many ways to contact us. And one avenue with Randy's help is that we should set up a cryptocurrency, a Z coin, or what do you think our cryptocurrency should be called, Proulx?
Z-Bucks.
Oh, Z-Bucks. Yeah. I like it. And so we'll and I think the way we'll do it is we can tie it to achievement grinding, right? So if you have to, we'll do like star balls. Like if you have to be in game grinding star balls, like that'll be how you have to how you get to earn currency by running electricity that way. we'll set up a game like that where the achievements are actually cryptocurrency. I like that idea. Well, let's. Do you know any Kingsman? You're a developer school. Create a cryptocurrency achievement system for us. That's what I want.
Good luck.
Should be easy.
Yeah, totally.
Easy.
It will totally be easy, non-trivial to do something like that.
Non-trivial. It's just math, right? Like, come on. Math. Final question that this one's kind of a doozy here comes from Doughboy, and he says, "Hey, so here's a list of the Xbox games with golds. There have been 209 titles." Plus others in other regions, but 209 U.S. games with gold titles. Do you have any favorites that stick out? Which we'll get to. Any that you wouldn't have purchased, but you're glad that you got via the program, and any you didn't add just because you didn't want those in your collection at all? So those are his 3 questions. Now, this triggered a decent amount of response. First of all, Facial LaFleur caught it and said, and I agree very much with this statement. Why wouldn't you accept a free game under any circumstances is confusing to me. I never understand people in the comments saying things like, oh, these are all garbage, I'll pass. See you next month. It's free. Even if you never play it, you might as well just put it in your purchase history. On the topic of favorites that I didn't own or weren't on my radar, I really liked Numa Breath of Life, Earthlock Festival of Magic, and the Vel Helsing Death Trap game. Still looking forward to playing The Witness and the Turing Test, as well as Warhammer End Times Vermintide. By the way, you don't have to read all this on the air, Fream. Well, I should have read that before.
Too late.
Oh, man. Just kidding. I'm not that dumb. But those are fantastic comments there, and of course then Chrono says, yeah, please don't read this online. Oh, well, too late. As for not accepting a free game, I know if there's no chance I'll never play it, such as Army of Two or Sniper Elite V2, what's the point of wasting the bandwidth? He says, I don't complain loudly about those being options, but I won't quote-unquote accept them either. My all-time winners for value are Van Helsing and Hand of Fate. And he also says, all the best value games are on Xbox One. Sony has elected to cease giving out PlayStation 3 games in its similar program. If Microsoft canceled the 360 giveaways, would we even notice?
Yes.
So we'll expound upon that as well. Because then Facial comes back and says, only wasting bandwidth if you actually have to pay for it. In which case, totally understandable. He said, I hadn't really thought about that. I have unlimited slow internet. So he's in good shape. And Kez reiterates, you can also, quote-unquote, purchase without actually having to download it, right? Just put it on your... And that's what I do that all the time. I will, quote-unquote, purchase every single game, even though I have absolutely no interest. Like, there are a slew of racing games that have come out that I absolutely will not play at all. Like, not a chance. The dirts, the grids, the whatever. Like, nope.
Tires.
Nope. I have absolutely no interest in playing that. In terms of your favorites, Proulx, do you have any favorites on here that you're just like, oh man, yeah, that was just fantastic?
I absolutely have a favorite.
Let's hear 'em.
Yeah, and I talked about this earlier on when I came on the show, but iDarb. A game I never would have played, but it was free. I think it happened to be free the same week that I had a bunch of friends visiting from out of town.
Sure.
And oh my God, did we have fun with that game. Like, it is so much fun local. Like, it's because you can do, I think, 3-on-3 or maybe 4-on-4. I can't.
You can do 4-on-4.
Yeah, okay. And, like, it was over a weekend, and it got so tense. Like, we almost got in fights at the end of the weekend, like, of how tense, like, who was good at iDarb at that point. Man, it's such a fun, silly little game, but it's a game I never would have played without games with gold. There's a whole bunch. The thing is, like, you go over the list and you're like, oh, I would have had that. I would have had that. I would have had that. But then you like, you see them and you're like, like D4, which I enjoyed that game.
Yep.
Never would have played it without.
No, not at all.
Games
and
with
like
Gold.
for me, like Super Time Force, it was an early Games with Gold, and I was very interested in that. But Games with Gold allowed me to play it earlier than I likely would have, and I loved that game. I thought that was so cool. But yeah, you go through this list and you're like, yeah, well, I already had Child of Light. I really like that game. Oh, a zombie game, How to Survive. Yep, well, I already had that, so I played that one. Tomb Raider, yeah, already. Valiant Hearts, oh yeah. Fantastic game, but I already had it. But then there's games like Massive Chalice. It's like, oh yeah, that XCOM clone that came out, was a new game that came out through Games Pass. I really want to play that game. Let's see, they gave that to me almost 3 years ago. I still haven't played it yet.
Yeah.
And there's so many games like that where it's like, gosh, I would really like. I'm actually going to give. I was thinking about giving Hand of Fate a shot because I need an H for Matthew H00, and it's like, okay, do I do Hand of Fate or Halo 4? And it's like, well, I don't know. Give Hand of Fate a shot. People talk pretty highly about that.
Yeah, it's so funny to go through the list because like. He mentioned Earthlock, and like that's a game I want to play. Like I really, really do. I just haven't had the chance yet.
Yeah.
But God, So Many Me is another highlight of mine. It's still one of my top 10 TA games, just because it was a Games with Gold and nobody bothered to finish it. That was a super cute, super fun little charming platformer that anybody can enjoy and complete. There's no problems with that.
Here, you know what? I found one that I would not have purchased, likely would not have purchased if it wasn't a Games with Gold. Monaco, What's Yours Is Mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember seeing that and being like, this is weird looking. Is it like a puzzle game? Is it like, I don't get it. But the fact that it was free and we had a crew in the Achievement Hounds community who were like, hey, it's Games with Gold. We should all work on this. That game is awesome. Like, it was a super cool game. And I would not have played that without the Games with Gold program.
Did you complete it?
I did.
Nice.
Yeah, I
loved it. That is
it.
Fun. That's a fun game for sure.
And I'm looking at this like, and I think too. Oh, Shoot Many Robots. That game was fantastic. I had a lot of fun with that. And I wouldn't have played that without Games with Gold. Or Iron Brigade. I wouldn't have played Iron Brigade without Games with Gold. But what I really enjoy, and even if, and this is kind of to go back to Kronos' question, if Xbox canceled the 360 giveaways, I think there would be they'd receive significantly more heat than PlayStation is getting because of backwards compatibility. Like I just love seeing the new games that are released because that means they're coming to backwards compatibility.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And that's what really gets me excited is it's just like a new BC game that, it'll be free, but come on, at this point, the chances of me already owning it are nearly 80 to 90%. Like, there are very few surprises that can come out on the 360, but there's still a bunch of games that it's like, God, how is that not backwards compatible yet? Like, I'm so tired of turning on my 360. Like, it's such a pain in the butt. I don't want to switch controllers. I don't want to do any of that. Like, please just let me play it on my one. And so like seeing like a game like Vanquish, finally coming through on backwards compatibility. Like I've owned that for ages, and I've never played it because it's been inconvenient.
Yeah, there's no way Microsoft quits doing their 360 stuff because they're committed now to doing the backwards compatibility program. Mm-hmm. So, I could see why you might think that would be a problem sometime, but it's not anything that they're going to do anytime soon. And like you say, Fream, every time a new list gets released, I'm like, ooh, I'm just as interested in the 360 stuff that's coming out as the One stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. So great question there, Doughboy. And fantastic responses from the community. You guys, you really ran with that one. I was going to say, I don't really think there's anything left, but I forgot you snuck this little card here at the bottom.
I did.
I don't know why you didn't put it in the main show. Well, you hit it, so why don't you share the fun news? And I hope everyone listens to this point.
Yes.
This is important.
Listen to me, everyone, or there will be no more show. So basically, we have now narrowed down the top 3 contestants for next week's Game of the Month, which would be June's Game of the Month. And here they are. Everybody listen.
I'm ready.
A Way Out.
Yup.
Which just went on sale.
Super did. I just bought it for $10.
Little Nightmares, which also went on sale recently. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Little Nightmares was on sale. And Bastion, the Xbox One version. So that's the 3 finalists, guys, for our Z to Z Game of the Month. Please vote. We'll put up something tomorrow, I believe. Well, tomorrow when we're recording, but you have until next Friday. So you have until the 26th?
25th?
25th. You have until the 25th to vote. So by the time you're listening to this, you probably have at least a day or two to vote. Please vote. That's going to be our next community Game of the Month. And what are you going to pick, Fream?
I want to just vote for which one I don't want to play, I guess.
Are you trying to cheat again, Fream? Are you trying to cheat again?
To be honest, well, so here's the thing, right? I'm probably going to vote Little Nightmares.
Okay.
Just because with my new, lifestyle, I don't know when I'm going to be able to work with somebody on a way out right now. I need to figure out how that's going to work for me. And I've already done Bastion on the 360, but I do want to do it on the One. But I have had that experience already. So that's all 3 of these games are fantastic choices.
Yeah,
I would be happy with any of these.
It's going to be an interesting vote. I'm not going to pick A Way Out just because I've already played and completed it, but it's a good game, so I don't, anybody that votes for it, I don't hold anything against them. Little Nightmares, which I've heard is very good, and Bastion, of course, I've never played as well. I don't even know what I'm going to pick between the 2. I might pick Bastion just because I'd love to have an excuse to beat both of them in the same month, but I don't know. But that's just us. So you guys go vote right away. As soon as you're listening to this, please go vote. We'll have the vote up, and however it's going to be done, I'm not exactly sure of the logistics, but go vote, and we'll be talking about this. We'll announce it next week on the show, and then the week after, we're going to be playing it. We're going to be knee-deep into that game. So,
and actually, knee-deep is on my list of games to play this week.
There you go.
Anyway, voting means sending Matriarch a private message on Discord, right? Or through TA?
Well, that's how this round went. It may be the case that the next round is the same as well, but I don't know.
Yes, right. But so if you're listening and that's how you want to vote, you can find Matriarch through True Achievements or our Discord channel, discord.io/Z2Z. That's an instant invite. Get right in. And if you find her and you can just send which one of those you want to pick, there will be a pinned message with those games that you're open for voting in the Game of the Month channel. So you'll be able to find it even if you forget the titles that we just ran through. But yeah, please be a part of it. We'll find some time to do some streaming of it. I'm hopefully also going to be doing some State of Decay streaming here in the near future. I'm excited to do a little State of Decay 2. I think that looks great. I'm pumped. But I got some contest stuff to wrap up. Proulx, what are you going to do this upcoming week? Anything fun?
That's a good question. I don't have any specific goals now. I just I'm kind of in points mode, so I'll probably pick whatever I can to get the most points. I'll be doing Minecraft. I'll be doing some Fallout. I promise. Other than that, I'll probably complete Cartoon Network. I actually don't know. I'm not sure. I'm actually in a good place right now where I don't have to. I'm not so restricted on what I'm playing that I can just kind of go for whatever I want. So whatever tickles my fancy. So we'll see where we are next week.
Right. Delightful. Well, awesome. I want to thank everybody so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun recording. If you guys could help us out financially, it would be amazing. You can head over to patreon.com/Z2Z. Listen to my contest roundup. I've got winners to announce. So if you're interested on who took home the big prizes, the big cheddar, it's up at the end of the show here. If you guys can't support us financially, totally understand. Nothing is expected. Everything is appreciated. But just spreading the word of the show is wonderful. I know Big L hates that I say this on every single show, but in theory, there could be a new listener, and this might be their first show. So I want to let you guys know that you can always reach us. We have a website, z2z.com. That's where the show is. Show notes, ways to contact us there. If you don't want to go there, just find us directly. Twitter is a wonderful opportunity at Z2Z, ZEDTOZED, or our email address, contact@z2z.com. Of course, you can always post comments on these shows all over the place. You can find us on True Achievements, Twitter, my personal Twitter, at Freamhole, FREAMWHOLE. That is my gamer tag. That is my Xbox persona. You can find me there. Proulx, you want to drop your name here real quick?
Yeah, of course. They can find me on Xbox or Discord at Proulx. Check the show notes for spelling. Otherwise, you can find me at OneUpDan on Twitter. That's the number one, not the word.
Wonderful. And so I want to thank everybody who made the show possible, and I want to thank all of you listeners. You've been great. So on behalf of Proulx, I've been Brandon, and to all of you achievement hunters and Gamerscore junkies out there, thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you next episode.
Z2Z Podcast presents Review Z.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Review Z. I am your host, well, one of your hosts.
One of your hosts.
For Team B. And then joining me, as always, is Mango. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing tonight, sir?
Can't complain. It's a little warm, but...
I wish it was warm. It was cold here today.
How cold is cold?
Well, it was 65, but cloudy and windy.
That's pretty chilly for mid-May.
Yeah. Well,
Summer
here,
should be here.
I guess it's normal here, but it was 84 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's that weather whiplash you have to be careful of.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about here,
No,
guys.
we're talking about games and Review Z and G-Task.
Yeah.
So we'll
And
start with
G-Task.
G-Task.
Yeah, what do we got?
All right, so the preview bonus for G-Task this week. This is an individual bonus, and it is called, Can You Tell Me How to Get? End the scoring period having spelled the alphabet, all 26 letters, using the first character of newly unlocked achievements. No umlauts or any special characters allowed, so no pound signs or hashtags or whatever you want to call them. It's all the alphabet, just straight out of Sesame Street.
That's actually that's a cute, clever name planting. I'll give you some credit for that. But so this is basically the alphabet challenge, except in a week.
In a week.
Plus, you're trying to get all these the scores and everything else to stay in. So, okay, that's cool. That's cool, yeah. And it's challenging.
So
I
that
think
tells
I'm
me
gonna go for it.
Chin Doctor will have it done in 25 minutes.
Yes. In fact, I think he already has it done before this episode's released.
Probably.
I guarantee it almost.
Yep.
That's fun, though. That'll be fun. I'll go for it. I don't know how far I'll get, but I think I want to try to go for it. So
I'm going to try. I mean, this week's actually been a surprisingly low-scoring week, which is kind of crazy, but I'm going to try.
Yeah. But you know what? That's not what we're really here to talk about. You guys now have
this is Review Z. We need to review something.
Yeah, let's review. Let's get into an interesting review. And in fact, in our short tenure here at Review Z, and I'm going to spoil this review right off the top. This is by far the worst game that we've played so far.
Yeah, by far. And we both are in agreement on that, by far.
Yeah. So what is this game that we're talking about today?
All right, this game is called Through the Woods, which is probably the most appropriately named game I've ever played. It was released on August 26, 2016 on Steam. So quite a while ago, but we got it on Xbox One May 2nd of 2018 for the wonderful sale price, which is very overpriced at $19.95. It was developed by Antagonist and published by 1C Company, which is apparently from Norway.
Which you would not be surprised to hear if you played the game, because much like the last time that we reviewed a game, Mr. Mango, this is very heavily influenced by Norse mythology.
Yeah, once again, we get a dark game that involves Norse mythology.
However, unlike Hellblade, which turned out to be a very fantastic game, Through the Woods, not so enjoyable.
No, not so much. Kind of missed the mark on a lot of aspects.
First off, it's what would you call it even? I guess
I'd call it kind of a walking sim.
Kind of a walking sim, yeah, I suppose so.
I mean, it's third person, kind of like a GRAW game. I mean, so you're like, oh, third person walking through the woods. Well, that's all you do is walk through the woods in third person.
Literally, that's the entire game.
Yeah.
There is no variation on. There's no interesting mechanics. There's no. You have a flashlight.
Yeah, you have
and
the
you
flashlight,
walk through the woods.
And you walk through the woods.
That's about the entire gameplay experience that you're going to have.
Yeah, you get a torch for like 10 minutes.
You do get a torch, which is weird because you still have your flashlight.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That sequence was weird. The whole game is really strange.
It's very strange. Yeah, very, very strange.
So without spoiling any of the story, what basically happens is you're a single mother. You go to
you start as a child.
Oh, that's true. You start as the son.
Yes.
But that's a very brief intro sequence.
Yes, and his name is Espen, like Espen TV.
Exactly like that, yeah.
Yep.
And you start in the pretty idyllic woodscapes of Norway, I assume, and then you switch to the perspective of the mother, and you have this sort of vacation home, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's a cabin up in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and something happens and your son is taken from you, and you go through the woods to track him down, to try to find him, to save him.
Yeah, you end up on some island that is like kind of stuck in time, I think is the whole premise, which take place like back in the time of Ragnarok.
Yeah, it's basically you. And it's not really explained very well, but you kind of go into the land of Norse mythology with all of these
monsters,
and
woods. So they're Norse woods.
Lots and lots of woods. Basically, but seriously, what this really boils down to is literally walking through the woods and getting lost the whole game.
The whole game.
And not knowing any. Like, I felt lost the entire game.
Yeah, and some of the chapters are less. You feel a little bit less like that, but I mean, most of the chapters you're really just wandering around, and looks like a path. Maybe I'll go that way, but then you end up walking into nothingness. The mechanic is really not good.
I mean, I guess it is very dark. It's a super dark game, and I guess if their goal was to make you feel lost, they succeeded. But that also left me frustrated, too, because I never knew if I was going in the right direction. Sometimes I would find that I doubled back and went back to a village that I'd already visited, and I'd have to try to find my way out in the wilderness again. Yeah. But again, I don't think we can stress this enough. You don't do anything other than read books and walk through the woods.
Where, and like you said, there's no direction. Where last week or 2 weeks ago with Hellblade, if you listen to the voice, you might get a little lost, but the voices would tell you're going the wrong way. This game, there's no direction whatsoever. You wander through the route, and the even more odd thing is it has chapter select. It has chapter and area select. You have no idea that you've gone through a different chapter until there's a load screen.
Yep.
Very strange.
Yeah. So I guess there's not a whole lot to talk about, but let's talk about the achievements, because that's pretty interesting. There are some glitched achievements, right?
Yeah, every achievement that involves collecting everything. So you have to collect all the notes. You have to collect all the stories. You have to collect all the... Actually, I think the one for the reflectors, as they call them, that one's not glitched, but every other one of the collect all achievements is glitched. So beware. The developer does know about it, and the game is still relatively new, so there's hope that it'll be fixed. I would think they would fix it.
Yeah, so I played through the game, and I got 18 out of the 27 achievements in Through the Woods, and I played just shy of 4 hours. Now, I didn't use a guide or anything. I was literally lost in the woods most of the time.
Yeah, same here.
But I only have God, what is it? I have less than 400 points.
Yeah, I'm at 375. I didn't count my achievement number, but 375 out of 1,000. So
yeah,
a lot of them are. It's tail heavy game.
Yeah, and you're not going to get, well, obviously the glitch stuff you're not going to get at all, but without a proper guide, I imagine you're not going to get a ton of the achievements. The good thing, though, as far as that's concerned, is the game's very short.
Yeah.
If you had a guide, I saw that there was a YouTube playthrough that was done in an hour and a half.
Yeah, I think if you knew where you're going, you could easily get through the whole entire story in under an hour, or under 2 hours. I mean, we're wandering around, and it took you and I both right around 3.5, 4 hours to do it, and we had no clue as to where we were going.
Yep. So if the developer ever does, and I hope they do, go back and fix these unobtainables, I would definitely consider a second playthrough, because I still have a majority of the points, left on the table here.
Mm-hmm. And I wish they would go back and change a couple of things. I wish they would allow more light out of the flashlight. It doesn't really do a lot.
No.
I mean, most real flashlights in real life at least give you some sense of where you're going. This has none of that.
Yeah. It definitely has the hallmarks of a small indie game. The animation, the people animation is especially bad.
Yeah, it looks like PlayStation 2-esque.
Yeah. Like janky and jerky and like awkward animation. The voice acting is not great.
No, especially Espen. Espen is terribly voiced over.
Yeah. And the woods themselves aren't terrible as far as that's concerned, technically speaking, but there is a bit of pop-in.
Yeah, a little bit of pop-in. You don't see it as much in the night, which is probably... This game was developed back in 2014, so a little bit less powerful machines out there, but the pop-in's really bad in daylight. You have a little bit of daylight in the beginning of the game and a little bit at the end, not to spoil anything, but during the night scenes, there's not a lot of pop-in because there's nothing to see because it's all dark. Yeah. And when we say dark, it's not dark as in dark like Resident Evil or dark like Hellblade. No, it's just dark.
Yeah, it's just everything is just you're like it's so they have like lanterns or like far off buildings that have one light on them. So you kind of have an idea of sort of the direction you're supposed to head in, but between there and where you are is just nothing. It's just you're just really darkly lit bushes and stuff like that.
Did we mention the game is dark?
It's very dark. It is very dark. Yeah. So I promise, and we're not exactly sure yet what we're going to be reviewing on our next review, Zed. It won't have anything to do with Norse mythology, and it won't be dark.
And it won't be dark. We've requested a bright and happy game.
Yes. Two in a row, 2 weeks in a row. Two was too much. So
I think as a recap on Through the Woods, I think if the achievements get fixed and there's a good guide, I would actually almost qualify it as being a quick 1,000. It's probably going to end up being under 4 or 5 hour 1,000. I mean, a couple of the achievements for collecting them is you have to open every door. So every little village building, every little thing, you have to open the door. I think that might be the only tedious one. The other ones are pretty straightforward, and you don't have to look too hard for them.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you had a good guide, and I'm not a big video guide fan at all, but because of like the darkness of the game, it would be really difficult with a text guide to follow along. If there was a really good video guide, yeah, I'd say this could be done in 3 hours.
Yeah, easily. I will say though, don't buy this game. It's not for 1995.
No way. Not.
I mean, it goes on sale on one of those flash sales where it's like $5 all in. Maybe exactly. When the achievements get fixed, maybe $10, but don't buy it for $20. It's ridiculously overpriced, and I checked; it's the same price on Steam too, so it's not like they've discounted it. Yeah. I don't think there's much more to say about Through the Woods. This is by far the worst game that you and I have reviewed.
Yeah, so far. Yeah, I was more frustrated than anything playing through the game. Again, a good guide would alleviate that. But I know, there's been lots of talk about guides recently here at Zed, but I'm telling you what, this is not a game you want to play without.
Yeah,
without
absolutely
a guide.
not. So again, that was Through the Woods, 1995. I'd pass.
Yeah, especially at that price and with broken achievements. So, but there you go. And you know what? We'll throw it back to the main show. So we'll see you guys later.
Hello, everybody. It's time for another community roundup here. We are toward the end, nearing the end of May. We just got a little bit of time left here, so get all your stuff done for your contests here in the last couple weeks or week and a half. Let's start with the GTASC 2018. We're talking period 17. This thing ended on, boy, I have May 9th here written down, but that's not true. It was May, 16th or something like that? Yeah, that's right, 16th. For the teams, we have a new champ this last week. It takes Proulx to Mango. The team of Proulx and Mighty Mango, they got 4th overall, dethroning the Smirnoff Redemption team. The near miss was Cupcake Unicorns, the team of Kez 001 and Hot Curls 3088. They were 15 places over elimination, about 500 TA. We didn't have any teams eliminated that I could see, so that's a good news. As far as the individual side of it goes, well, our top Zed goes to Chin Doctor. He got 8th overall. And the near miss, well, the Tominator. Tominator was 6 places above elimination, only about 50 TA, keeping himself safe. As far as elimination, well, we had Marky B. Hoy 89 and Pirate Spirit. And Weasel Pizza, well, he must have taken a vacation because he only earned 3 achievements last week. So I think he said, I'm done. So those 3 were eliminated. I have winners. I have winners to announce for the week, or the last month for April. The random to-do list, we had 82 people unlock at least 1 achievement. We had 467 achievements overall. And our winner with 4 achievements unlocked, about a 1% chance of winning, Wemblator. They unlocked 4 achievements, so congratulations, Wemblator. We will reach out to you to get you your prize code. For the community challenge in April, it was Happy Birthday Tom Clancy. Well, we only had 6 people, and only 2 people actually played a game this month. And sorry, Facial, even though you had half of the entries because of all your previous completions, the winner was Wildwood Mike. With his previous completion, he had 10% chance of winning. So Wildwood Mike gets the prize. If you don't know, May is Star Wars games. May the 4th be with you. So, same as last month, 1 entry per achievement earned in the month of May, 5 entries for any previous completions, and you earn 10 entries if you complete a Star Wars game this month. The gamer tag last month, we had 2. It was Kronos and Cowboy Killer. We had 16 people in there. 12 of those 16 did get both names correct. But that's all right. You get substitutions. And our winner, well, it's Reset 42. He takes down that month's prize. The prize for May, well, it's Matthew H00. So MATTHEW H00. And game of the month, guys. It is May. We're obviously doing Bard's Gold right now, so take a look at any of our streams. We've got some stuff over at youtube.com/Z2Z, or you can watch me stream. I'm still trying to figure out a time that I'm doing it. We'll get something worked out. But you can see me over at mixer.com/Freamhole, FREAMWHOLE. And you heard in the show, guys, June's vote is up. Make sure you get on the Discord chat, discord.io/Z2Z to make sure that you vote, get your picks in. We want to know. We want to hear what you're interested in. So you guys get to pick June, and we got some nice games there. As far as Patreon goes, well, our full game edition, the winner for the month of April, it's Rippin'. Rippin' takes down this month. Congratulations. Big donator for us. Top tier. Thank you so much for your patronage. We really appreciate it. And if you're new to the Discord, and your transaction goes through for the month of May and I didn't give you your gold name, let me know, because I'm pretty terrible about that. And my time on Discord is it is not where it once was, but I assure you it is a hopping place to be. Facial LaFleur, one of our new, old member, now back new into the Discord chat, was just commenting recently how active it is. It is remarkable. We have tons of people there. It's a great community. We'd love for you to be a part of it and come visit us. And that's and Discord is also where we have a lot of LFGs, boosting groups, places to hook up with like-minded gamers to get achievements done on the fly. And it's a good group. You're not getting weird randoms who are probably going to stand you up anyway, even though True Achievements has some really great solutions for that. So there you go. If that interests you, then head over there, discord.io/Z2Z. I want to thank everybody for listening. Thanks for being part of the community and doing all of the contributions here in our contests. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the show. We'll catch you guys later. Peace.